Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno, where we get to speak to the wonderful George Mackay and Charlotte Spencer at the BFI London Film Festival for their film Bypass. This script, for an actor, you're always looking for something new to explore. So what was it about it when you read it that you thought, this is what I have to do?
I mean, the story was, and the character, I felt close to Tim. I think also the way that Duane writes was so beautiful, and there was almost kind of a few technical notes in the script as well, which kind of gave a sense of the aesthetic that he was going for. And watching Better Things as well as reading it, although it's his previous film, it gave me a sense of the aesthetic and of Duane's work, and I thought that was so beautiful that I just really wanted to be a part of someone who could tell a story like that.
Is it a coming of age story?
I don't think of it like that. I think of it. Tim's problem is that, which again isn't something that's a fault of his, but his morality and his sensibility doesn't fit the world that he's in and what he needs to do to survive. And I think so. He does change and he goes on a journey, but it's not necessarily like a coming of age, I wouldn't say.
For the actress, it's always about the story. So what was it when you read the script that you thought, I have to be a part of this?
I liked my character in particular. Of course, the story is great, but my character, I really like playing strong women, and I think that she was quietly strong. She knew she was a driving force behind Tim, and I think that's important. And she never pushed anything, but she was just there. She's the rock and the hope.
And you're working with a director, as you have done before with Dexter, that's written as well as directed. How does that benefit you as an actor?
I think that they invest more. They really invest. So it's that you're creating as much as you're working together to create these characters. So it's really lovely.
With regards to the film, what was the genesis of this for you?
Well, it always kind of starts with, maybe there's quite singular kind of experiences. And when I was casting Better Things and I was going into certain estates and cities and kind of the larger sort of towns, and I was on the old kind of working class estates, the working class estates that used to house all the people that would basically work in kind of the manufacturing sites. And of course, since manufacturing left in kind of the 70s and the 80s, the estates have still remained. But the estates now are they seem to be very, very different places because they don't have that continuity of employment. People kind of leave school and they don't have a job that they can immediately go into. So something else began to develop, and I had a few experiences and a few kind of conversations with the kids there. One in particular where I was chatting with these three kids and they were very, very open with their time. And then I asked them what they were doing later on after we'd finished kind of talking, and they said that they were going to go out and do these burglaries. And I was kind of amazed by that. Also due to the fact that they knew the people that they were going to burgle. But the one kid out of the three seemed kind of conflicted by it. He seemed very, very sensitive, as though he knew what he was going to do was wrong. And then I went off and made Better Things, but I couldn't help but feel, once I'd finished Better Things, I kept coming back to this experience, and I was wondering about this one kid and what had happened, whether or not he'd been caught that night, or whether or not he discovered something else that he could do, or whether he'd reached a kind of moral limit, and because of that, he was a different person. So I wanted to go back into that and do more research and make a film about that character.